Welcome to Bethel Online Education Hub. Learn anytime, anywhere. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Let's learn together, the Bethel way.
So good morning, my dear students. So welcome to your personality development. So today we will tackle the lesson 10, family structures and legacies. So are you ready to learn and explore about this lesson 10? So let's proceed to your lesson 10. So now let's proceed to the first one. So family structures and legacies. It is composed of individuals living together in one household, either connected by marriage, blood, or by legal arrangement. One of the family structures and the most common kind of structures dominated the Philippines is the extended family, on which we are fond of being in the same roof together with our mother, father, aunts, uncles, grandfather, and grandmother, and also the cousins. So pag sinabi natin, family structures and legacy, ito ay ang istruktura ng pamilya na sa Tagalog. Ito ay tumutukoy sa paraan kung paano nabuo at nakaayos ang isang pamilya. Iba't iba ito depende sa kultura, panahon, sitwasyon ng panlipunan. So, narito ang mga istruktura ng pamilya. So, nuclear ng pamilya, binubuo ng mga magulang, ina at ama, at ang kanilang mga anak. So, pangalawa, pinalawak na pamilya or extended family, kasama sa tirahan ng iba pang kamag-anak tulad ng lolo't, lola, tiya, tiyahe, pinsan at iba pa. Pamilyang solo parent, isa lamang ang magulang, ina o ama, na nagtataguyod sa mga anak. So, pang-aapat, pamilyang may step-parent. So, nabuo muli ang pag-aasawa ng magulang. Mayroong mga hakbang ina o hakbang ama at hakbang kapatid. So, mga step-siblings. So, mga stepfather, stepmother. So, adopted or foster family. Ito yung mga adopted na ina-adapt ng mga magulang na babe, na mga bata, na inaalagaan nila, mga nag-aampon. Sa Tagalog, inaampon. So, pamana o legacy. Legasiya. So, ang Tagalog ng legacies is pamana. So, ang legacy ay hindi lamang tungkol sa mga ari-arian o kayamanang naiiwan sa susunod na henerasyon. So, ito rin ay tumutukoy sa mga halaga o values. Halimbawa, kabutihang asal, sipag, pananampalataya, o pagmamahal sa pamilya. Pangalawa, kultura at tradisyon. Mga paniniwala o kaugalian, kasaysayan na ipinapasa mula sa magulang papunta sa anak. So, pangalan o reputasyon ng pamilya. So, kung paano tinitignan ng lipunan ng iyong apelyido batay sa nagawa ng mga ninuno mo. So, panglima, and the last one is kaalaman at edukasyon. So, maaaring ipamana rin ang karunungan, gawi sa pag-aaral, o hanap buhay na pwedeng ipagpatuloy ng mga anak. So, ang ekstruktura ng pamilya ay bumubuo sa pundasyon ng tahanan, habang ang legacy naman ay naiiwang marka ng bawat henerasyon. So mahalaga ang papel ng pamilya sa paghubog ng pagkatao, paniniwala, at kinabukasan ng bawat kasapi nito. So yun po si family structures and legacies. So now, let's proceed to the family defined. So family comes from the Latin familia, which means group of people living in the household. So number 2, family could be related by blood, by birth, or by other relationship. Number 3, family is the basic unit of society. It is the smallest organization in the community. It is said to be a group of individuals living together in one household. And lastly, family comes in different forms. It could vary from one family to another. It is usually composed of mother, father, children. Some other includes grandparents, aunts, uncle, cousin, and also the other relatives. So, pag sinabi nating family defined, so ang definition daw ng family ay ang pamilyang pangunahing unit ng lipunan. So, ito ay binubuo ng mga individual na magkakaugnay sa pamamagitan ng dugo, kasal, o legal na proseso tulad ng pag-aampon. Sa mas malalim na kahulugan, ang pamilya ay isang grupo ng mga taong nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan, at may malasakit sa isa't isa. So ano man ang kanilang legal o biological na ugnayan. So may dalawang aspeto ng definition nito. So biological o legal na kahulugan, tumutukoy sa mga taong magkadugo tulad ng magulang at anak at magkapatid. Pangalawa, emotional at panlipunang kahulugan. Ang pamilya ay hindi laging tungkol sa tugo o legalidad. Ito rin ay may mga taong tumatayong suporta, gumagabay at nagbibigay ng pagmamahal sa isa't isa. So ano nga ba ang katangian ng pamilya? May pagmamahal at pagkalinga, may responsibilidad sa isa't isa, nagtutulungan sa panahon ng pangangailangan, pinagmumulan ng edukasyon sa asal, kultura at pananampalataya at higit sa lahat, tagapagdala ng tradisyon at pamana. So ang halimbawa nito is ang pamilya ay isang institusyong panlipunan na nagsisilbing pundasyon ng lipunan kung saan nahuhubog tayong mga tao, nahuhubog ang ating pagkatao bilang isang individual sa pamamagitan ng pagmamahal, gabay at suporta mula sa ating mga mahal sa buhay. So now, let's proceed to the types of family structure. So family structure differ from one family to another. That is why we should not compare our family with that others. The following table lists the different family structure. So we have the table list ng mga iba't ibang family structures. So here's our table of family structure. So family structure, the first one is nuclear family. So it is also known as conjugal or traditional family. So consisting of married couples and their offspring. So example nito, mother, father, and children. So extended family. These types of family includes all relatives in proximity, such as grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. These are relatives typically live together and all share daily household duties. So, example, a family living together with mother, father, children, grandparents, aunts, uncle, and other relatives in one roof. So, yung po si family extended, kumbaga, nagsasama-sama na yung nasa isang lugar lang kayo, nasa isang tahanan lang kayo, na nandoon yung mga grandparents nyo, mga lolo't lola, so kasama nyo din sa bahay mga pinsantis, yan. So yun po yung mga extended, kumbaga parang lumaki, napalaki natin from the word extended, di ba? From the word extended, malaki, lumawak, di ba? So single parent family, so this family type includes one parent and their children only. A single parent family could be the result of a divorce, the death of the one parent, or even a single parent adoption. So, example nito, father with his children or a mother with her children living in one household. From the word single parent. So, meaning, mag-isa lang siya, solo parents. So, yun, ito naman, yung pamilyang, iisa lang yung bumubuhay sa kanyang pamilya. For example, si tatay lang, wala na siyang asawa. Or, for example, si tatay, wala nang asawa. Yung asawa niya, it's either sumama sa iba or namatay na. So, matatawag na siya ng single parents pag ikaw na lang ang bumubuhay or tumatayo or tumataguyod sa inyong family. So, ang tawag na sa iyo doon ay single parents. So, papasok ka na sa single parents. So, the next one is step family. A family where the parents have divorced and remarriage, bringing children from other unions together to form a new nuclear family. It is also known as blended family because two families were combined. So example nito, mother, children, stepfather, and his kids, father, children, stepmother, and her kids. So from the word step family. So dito na yung pumapasok na kung si single parent, di ba, balik tayo kay single parent, is solo siya. So kunyari si single parents, nakapag-asawa siya ng nakapag-asawa ulit siya, na yun ang asawa niya is may anak. So, ang tawag sa kanya ng anak nung bago niyang asawa is stepmother. So, yung anak naman niya, ang tawag naman doon ay stepfather. So, yun po ang step family. So, nagkakaroon na tayo ng blended. Kumbaga, nag-blend na sila, nagsama na sila, kaya sila tinawag na blended. So, nag-combine na yung dalawang families. So, yun po si step family. So, papasok na dyan yung stepmother mo, stepfather, stepsister, stepbrother. So, yun na po si step family. So, nagigets ba yung four family structures? So, yun po yung mga family structures. So next one is foster family. A family includes parents who serve as a temporary guardian for one more children to whom they may or may not be biological related. Parents, children, or foster child. So next one is adopted or adoptive families. A family wherein parents may adopt children to whom they share no blood relationship, or one parent may adopt the child of the other parents. So parents, mother and father adopted child. So from the word adopt, so nag-adopt ka, kumbaga nag-ampon. Ayun, papasok dyan yung pag-aampon mo ng isang anak. Yan. So biracial or multiracial family. A family wherein parents are from different races. Filipino mother, American mother, or children. So dito papasok na yung half ka na. Yung kumbaga half Pinay, half Chinese, half India. Ayan ay kumbaga yung blood mo is dalawang uri na. So meron ng Pilipina, meron pang American. So yun po si biracial or multiracial family. So next one is transracial or adopted family. A family where parents adopted a child with a different race. American parents adopted Filipino children. So yan yung from the word mag-a-adopt na siya. Papasok na din dyan sa adopted. Mag-aampon siya. Silang yung papasok dyan yung transracial, yung mag-asawang Pinay, ay yung Pinay tsaka yung tiga-ibang bansa, mag-aampon sila ng another Filipino. Yun, papasok na si transracial. So, conditionally separated family. A family wherein one of the family members is conditionally separated from the others. The separation may be due to their job or employment, or could be due to hospitalization. A family living together except for the father working abroad, or family living together except for the eldest child serving in the military. So, dito naman, papasok naman dito yung paghihiwalay ng isang pamilya. Kumbaga, papasok dyan si father, nagpunta dun sa abroad, nag-work abroad. So, separated parents na po ang tawag. Separated family na po siya. So, pag sinabi separated family, hindi lang siya tumutukoy sa paghihiwalay ng mag-asawa. Diba? So, kaya naman naghihiwalay ang mag-asawa, hindi naman because naghiwalay talaga sila. Kumbaga, nag-abroad, nagtrabaho abroad lang, or busy, or isa pala siyang military na nagtrabaho. Siyempre, kailangan niya madestino sa ibang lugar. So, separated family po ang tawag doon. So, next one is childless family. Married couple without children. Mother and father only. So, dito naman papasok na yung pamilyang hindi magkaanak. So, minsan yan papasok si adopted sa childless family. So, di ba, minsan kasi, yung mag-asawa, syempre, may tendency na hindi mabigyan ng asawa ng anak, yung kanyang asawa. Or yung asawa, yung lalaki naman, hindi niya kayang mag-produce ng sperm cell para mabuntis niya yung babae. So, yun. Kaya dyan pumapasok bigla si adopted children. Diba? Kaya sila, minsan nagde-decide na mag-adopt na lang. Kasi nga, hindi sila magkaroon ng anak. So, next is gay or lesbian family. Oh, the word gay or lesbian. So, a family wherein one or both parents have a different sexual orientation and part of the LGBT community, a lesbian mother and her children with a gay father. Siyempre, alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. So, diyan pumapasok yung mga LGBT nating may mga anak or lesbian mother and her children with a gay father. So, ayun, may kakilala ko niya. Meron akong kaibigan dyan. Pero yung jowa niya naman is literal na babae. Pero yung kaibigan kong gay, yan, nag-aasawa siya, pero may anak sila. Pero hindi sila both LGBT. So, alam nyo na yan. So, migrant family. Migrant. It is a family who settles together in a different place. It could be from one place to another due to some circumstances, such as father's job. A family who migrated from a place because the father is a military officer. Ayun yung migrate ka na. For example, sabi nga sa example, kung yung asawa mo or tatay mo ay isang military, expect mo na yan. Madidestino yan sa iba't ibang lugar. Expect na natin yan. So, maaaring dun siya madestino na kailangan nyo talagang mag-migrate. Diba? May mga iba din naman nagma-migrate sa ibang lugar, sa ibang bansa, na mas pinipili dun tumira. From the word migrate. Diba? Immigrant family. Sa a family wherein one or both parents are already an immigrant of other countries. Their children may be or may not be an immigrant. Santos family, whose mom is already an immigrant of Canada. There another is already a Canadian citizen, but the rest of the family members are not. So, ayun nga pala. So, sa migrant, pag nadistino lang sa ibang lugar, dito lang sa Pilipinas. Si immigrant naman, ito na pala yung sa ibang bansa ka na. Kumbaga magmamigrate ka dun sa ibang bansa. Yun, dun papasok si immigrant family. So, yun po ang mga family structures natin. So, nagigets ba ang ating mga family structures? So now, let's proceed to the next one. So the emotional legacy. So unfortunately, many people struggle to overcome a negative emotional legacy that hinder their ability to cope with the inevitable struggles of life. This is where a family's important role takes its place. So a strong emotional legacy. Number one, provides a safe environment in which deep emotional roots can grow. Two, fosters confidence through stability. Three, conveys a tone of trusting support. Four, nurtures a strong sense of positive identity. And lastly, create a resting place for the soul, demonstrate unconditional love. So, pag sinabi natin the emotional legacy, ito yung emotional na pamana. Ito ay tumutukoy sa damdamin, kaugalian, at emotional na epekto na naiiwan ng isang tao sa kanyang pamilya, mga anak, o mga susunod na henerasyon. Hindi ito physical na bagay tulad ng pera o ari-arian, kundi mga emotional na alaala. Alaala, pananaw sa buhay at paraan pakikitungo sa damdamin na ipinapasa sa ibang tao. So halimbawa nito is kung isa kang magulang ay palaging nagpapakita ng pagmamahal, suporta at malasakit, maaaring mamamana ng anak ang positibong emotional na pananaw at kakayahang magmahal din ng tama. So sa kabilang banda, kung puno ng galit, trauma o takot ang isang pamilya, maaaring maipasa ito sa mga anak at makaka-apekto ito sa kanilang pakikitungo sa ibang tao sa hinaharap. So sa madaling salita, ang emotional legacy ay uri ng emotional na bakas o impluensya iniiwan natin sa mga tao, lalo na sa ating mga mahal sa buhay. So yun po si emotional legacy. So now, let's proceed to the next one. So the social legacy. To really succeed in life, children need to learn more than management, strategies, accounting, reading, writing, and geometry. They need to learn the art of relating to people, the art of socialization. So key building blocks of children's social legacy include respect, beginning with themselves and working out to other people. 2. Responsibility, fostered by respect for themselves, that is culture, cultivated by assigning children duties within the family, making them accountable for their actions and giving them room to make wrong choices once in a while. So 3. Unconditional love and acceptance by their parents, combined with conditional acceptance when the parents discipline for bad behavior or action. So next is the settings of social boundaries concerning how to relate to God, authority, peers, the environment, and siblings. And the lastly is rules that are given within a loving relationship. So, pag sinabi natin the social legacy, ito ay pamanang panlipunan. So, ito ay tumutukoy sa mga naiiwan o naipapasa ng isang tao o grupo sa ating lipunan na may kaugnayan sa mga kaugalian, prinsipyo, adikain, relasyon sa komunidad o epekto sa kapwa. So, ang social legacy ay hindi physical na bagay kundi mga positibong pagbabago o impluwensyang panlipunan na naiiwan sa komunidad o sa mas malawak na lipunan. So, maaaring ito ay sa anyo ng advokasya para sa karapatang pantao, pagtuturo ng malasakit sa kapwa, pagpapalaganap ng katarungan o pagkakapantay-pantay, at higit sa lahat, pagpapalakas ng komunidad. So, halimbawa, si Jose Rizal, iniwan niya ang social legacy ng nasyonalismo at edukasyon na siyang patuloy na nag-uudyok sa mga Pilipino na ipaglaban ang kanilang karapatan. So, sa madaling salita, ang pamanang panlipunan o ang social legacy ay ang impluensyang impluwensya o ambag ng isang tao sa lipunan na patuloy na nakakaapekto sa buhay ng iba kahit wala na siya. So yun po si social legacy. So now, let's proceed to the spiritual legacy. So the spiritual legacy is the least in priority, but that is a mistake. As spiritual beings, we adopt attitudes and beliefs about spiritual matters from one person or another. Parents need to take the initiative and present faith to their children. So, pag sinabi natin spiritual legacy, ito ay spiritual na pamana from the word spiritual. So, ito ay tumutungo sa pananampalataya, paniniwala, spiritual na kaugalian at mga pagpapahalagang may kinalaman sa espiritu o kaluluwa na naipapasa mula sa isang tao patungo sa kanyang pamilya, komunidad o sa susunod na henerasyon. So, ang pamanang espiritual ay hindi nakikita o nahawakan, ngunit ito ay malalim na bahagi ng pagkatao na nakakaapekto sa paraan ng pamumuhay, pagdidesisyon at pakikitungo ng isang tao sa Diyos at sa kapwa. So halimbawa, isang lola nagturo sa kanyang mga apo na manalangin araw-araw at magtiwala sa Diyos sa kabila ng hirap ay nag-iiwan ng pamanang spiritual. So mga halimbawa ng nilalaman ng spiritual, ito ay pananampalataya sa Diyos o reliyon, pagpapatawad at pag-ibig sa kapwa, pagkakaroon ng layunin sa buhay, at higit sa lahat, mag-aral mula sa banal na kasulatan. Ang halimbawa, Biblia, Quran at iba pa. So, ang spiritual legacy ay ang mga aral, paniniwala at spiritual na halimbawa na iniiwan natin upang maging gabay sa puso at kaluluwa ng mga susunod nating henerasyon. So yun po si spiritual legacy. So now let's proceed to the next one. So here are 5 things you do that predict whether your children will receive the spiritual legacy a Christian parent desires. So do you, number 1, acknowledge and reinforce spiritual realities? Do your children know, for example, that Jesus loves everyone, that God is personal, loving, and will forgive us? Number 2, view God as a personal, caring being who is to be loved and respected. And 3, make spiritual activities a routine part of life. And 4, clarify timelines, truth, what is right and wrong. And lastly, incorporate spiritual principles into everyday living. So here, ito po yung 5 things to predict your children will receive the spiritual legacy. So now let's proceed to your activity. So in your activity, understanding my own family structure in this activity. So you will need a family picture. Paste it on bond paper or Oslo paper. If you do not have a recent family picture, you can cut out pictures from the magazine and just put name of your family member on each picture. You may also draw your family picture. 2. Identify what family structure you have at home. Write the names of each member of your family below the picture. In short paragraph, describe your family. Explain your family's social, emotional, and spiritual legacy. So here's your activity 10. So here's our examples of family pictures. So ganyan po ang gagawin nyo. Then sa baba, i-describe nyo kung ano bang legacy ang meron ng inyong family. So, and that's our lessons for today. So, I hope you learn a lot in this lesson. So, if you have any question, clarification about this lesson, so don't hesitate to chat me, okay? So, yun lang. Thank you and goodbye.